You think you know Great Britain? It is a small island off the coast of Europe. England is at the bottom, Scotland is at the top, the west coast is on the left, the east coast is on the right, and everything is exactly where it looks on the map. Except almost none of that is as simple as you think. Because Great Britain is not the United Kingdom. Edinburgh is further west than Bristol. Scotland reaches as far north as Moscow. The whole country is smaller than a single American state. And the island you think you know is leaning over at an angle that scrambles your entire mental map of where things actually are. These are 30 geography facts about Great Britain you get wrong. And number 1 breaks the most basic assumption almost everyone makes about this island. This is dust and stories. Subscribe, because the map in your head is wrong, and we are about to fix it. Number 30. Great Britain is not the United Kingdom. Let's clear up the confusion the whole world makes. Great Britain is the island, and only the island containing England, Scotland, and Wales. The United Kingdom is the political country, and it includes Great Britain plus Northern Ireland. So when you say Great Britain and mean the UK, you are leaving out an entire part of the country. They are not the same word, and they never have been. Number 29, England is not a synonym for Britain either. People outside the British Isles constantly use England to mean the whole island or the whole country. England is one of 3 nations on the island of Great Britain, alongside Scotland and Wales. Calling a Scotsman or a Welshman English is one of the fastest ways to start an argument anywhere in Britain. Number 28, the British Isles is yet another different thing. The British Isles is the geographical term for the whole archipelago. Great Britain, the entire island of Ireland, including the Republic of Ireland, and thousands of smaller islands. So there are 4 overlapping terms people treat as one. The British Isles, Great Britain, the United Kingdom, and England, and they all mean different things. Number 27, the whole United Kingdom is smaller than a single American state. If you combine England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, the entire country is slightly smaller than the US state of Michigan. The island that once ruled the largest empire in human history would fit comfortably inside one of 50 American states. Number 26, Great Britain is leaning over. Here's the fact that breaks everyone's mental map. The island of Great Britain doesn't run straight up and down. It leans, tilting from the bottom right to the top left. The south of England points east, and as you go north, the land swings further and further to the west. This single fact is the reason almost every other surprising thing about British geography is true. The map in your head has the island standing up straight. It doesn't. Number 25, Edinburgh is further west than Bristol. Because of that tilt, the Scottish capital, which sits on the east coast of Scotland and is served by the East Coast Main Line, is actually further west than Bristol, a city everyone thinks of as being in the west of England. Bristol sits at about 2 degrees 35 minutes west. Edinburgh sits at about 3 degrees 11 minutes west. The eastern Scottish city is west of the western English one. Number 24, Edinburgh is also further west than Liverpool. The same lean means Edinburgh on Scotland's east coast is further west than Liverpool, which sits on England's west coast. If you sailed due north from Liverpool, you'd end up out to the east of Edinburgh. The island's tilt scrambles everything you assume about east and west. Number 23, Scotland reaches as far north as Moscow. Glasgow sits at roughly the same latitude as Moscow. Travel up to Inverness in the Scottish Highlands, and you are further north than the Russian capital. People imagine Scotland is cold, but not that cold, and Moscow is brutally Arctic. In reality, they are on the same line. The reason Scotland is so much milder is the warm Atlantic current, not its position on the globe. Number 22, Great Britain is the third most populated island in the world. With around 67 million people, Great Britain ranks third for population among all islands on Earth, behind only Java and Honshu in Japan. This small island packs in more people than all but 2 islands anywhere. Number 21. But it's only the 9th largest island by area. For all its history and population, Great Britain ranks just 9th in the world for size, around 209,000 square kilometers. It's densely packed, not large. Greenland, Borneo, Madagascar, and several others all dwarf it in size, while holding a tiny fraction of the people. Number 20. The highest mountain in Great Britain isn't very high. Ben Nevis in Scotland, the tallest peak on the island, stands at 1,345 meters, about 4,400 feet. That wouldn't even count as a mountain in many parts of the world. In the Alps or the Rockies, Ben Nevis would barely register as a foothill. Yet it is the roof of Great Britain. Number 19. The 3 highest peaks in Britain are in 3 different nations. Ben Nevis is in Scotland. Snowdon, or Yr Wydfa, is the highest in Wales. Scafell Pike is the highest in England. The famous National 3 Peaks Challenge sends climbers up all 3 in Scotland, England, and Wales in 24 hours. If you're enjoying having your mental map rearranged, hit subscribe right now. The next 18 get stranger. Number 18. The longest river entirely in England is not the one you would guess. The longest river in Great Britain is the River Severn. But it actually rises in Wales before flowing through England. The longest river that lies entirely within England is the Thames. So the most famous river in the country is not even the longest, and the longest one is partly Welsh. Number 17. Wales has a town with the longest place name in Europe. The Welsh village of Llanfair Pwyl Gwingil Gogerichwyr in Drobl Lantai Silio Gogogosh has 58 letters. The name was reportedly lengthened deliberately in the 19th century as a publicity stunt to attract tourists. It worked. People still travel just to photograph the railway station sign. Number 16. London is not in the middle of England. Many people picture London as central, but it sits in the far southeast corner of the island, tucked close to the European mainland. It is about as far from the Scottish border as you can get while still being in England, and it is far closer to Paris and Brussels than to the Scottish Highlands. Number 15. The dividing line between the north and south of England is not official, but everyone uses it. The Watford Gap in Northamptonshire, a low pass between 2 hills that has carried the main roads north since Roman times, is the traditional semi-mythical boundary where England becomes the north. Cross it heading up, and you are officially, in the popular imagination, up north. Number 14. There are counties in England with no coastline at all. Despite Great Britain being an island where you're never more than about 70 miles from the sea, several English counties like Warwickshire, Northamptonshire, and the West Midlands are completely landlocked. In a country this obsessed with the seaside, some of it never touches the coast. Number 13, you're never more than 70 miles from the sea anywhere in Great Britain. Because the island is long, narrow, and deeply indented with bays and estuaries, no point on the entire island of Great Britain is further than about 70 miles from saltwater. For a country with a global maritime history, the sea is never far away. Number 12. Scotland has more than 900 islands. Great Britain isn't one island, it's the main island surrounded by hundreds of smaller ones. Scotland alone has over 900 offshore islands, grouped into archipelagos like the Hebrides, Orkney, and Shetland. Only a few hundred of them are inhabited. Number 11. Shetland. is so far north it is usually shown in a box on maps. The Shetland Islands lie so far north of the Scottish mainland that map makers routinely put them in a separate inset box to save space, placing them off the east coast of Scotland, where they do not really belong. Shetlanders find this so annoying that the Scottish Parliament once debated a law about how the islands should be displayed on maps. Number 10. Shetland is closer to Norway than to London, in spirit and almost in distance. Shetland's history, place names, and culture are heavily Norse. The islands were ruled by Norway and Denmark until the 15th century, when they were handed to Scotland as part of a royal dowry. Lerwick, Shetland's capital, is closer to Bergen in Norway than it is to Edinburgh. Number 9. The Channel Islands are not part of Great Britain or even the United Kingdom. Jersey and Guernsey sit just off the coast of France. They are British Crown dependencies, which means they are constitutionally separate from the United Kingdom and from Great Britain. They have their own governments, their own laws, and their own tax systems. They are the last remnants of the medieval Duchy of Normandy still loyal to the Crown. Number 8. The Isle of Man isn't part of the UK either. Sitting in the Irish Sea between Great Britain and Ireland, the Isle of Man is another self-governing Crown dependency. It has its own parliament, the Tynwald, which claims to be the oldest continuous parliament in the world, founded by the Vikings over 1,000 years ago. Number 7. Great Britain has a desert-like spot and a rainforest. The temperate rainforests of Western Scotland and Wales, wet, mossy, ancient woodlands, are among the rarest habitats in Europe. Meanwhile, parts of eastern England around the Fens and Essex are among the driest places in the country, receiving less rain annually than some parts of the Mediterranean. Number 6. The geographical center of Great Britain is in the middle of nowhere. Depending on how you calculate it, the center of the island sits near a remote spot in the Lake District or in rural Lancashire, far from any famous landmark. There's no monument, no city, just quiet countryside marking the middle of the whole island. Number 5. Wales has more castles per square mile than anywhere in the world. With over 600 castles, Wales is the most castle-dense country on Earth. The English King Edward I built a ring of massive fortresses to subdue the Welsh in the 13th century, and they still loom over Welsh towns today. Number 4. Alaska stretches further south than parts of Scotland. Here's one to break your brain. The southernmost islands of Alaska reach further south than the southern tip of mainland Scotland. America's far northern state and Scotland overlap in latitude more than anyone expects. Another reminder of how distorted our mental maps are. Number 3. Lincoln's Roman Arch is older than almost everything around it, and traffic still drives under it. In the city of Lincoln stands the Newport Arch, built by the Romans nearly 2,000 years ago. It's the only Roman archway in Great Britain that traffic still passes beneath. Every day, people drive their modern cars under a gateway built when Britain was a Roman province. Number 2. The Prime Meridian, 0 degrees longitude, runs through Great Britain. That line, which divides the eastern and western hemispheres of the planet, passes through Greenwich in London. Time itself, around the whole world, is measured from a line drawn through a hill in southeast London. Greenwich Mean Time is the reference point for clocks across the globe. Number 1, and finally, Great Britain itself is shrinking and growing at the same time. On the east coast, the sea is winning. The Holderness coast of Yorkshire is one of the fastest eroding coastlines in Europe, losing up to 2 meters of land a year, swallowing entire villages over the centuries. But on other parts of the coast, new land is forming as silt and sand build up in places like the Wash and along parts of the Lincolnshire shore. The island is not a fixed shape. It is being redrawn constantly by the sea, eaten away on one side and slowly extended on the other. The Great Britain on your map today is not the same shape it was 1,000 years ago, and it will not be the same shape 1,000 years from now. The coastline you think of as permanent is one of the most restless borders on Earth. Great Britain is a small, crowded, ancient island that almost nobody, including the people who live there, pictures correctly. It leans. Its capital cities are in the wrong places relative to each other. It reaches as far north as Moscow. It is smaller than Michigan, but holds the third largest island population on the planet. It has bits that are not really part of it, a center in the middle of nowhere, and edges that the sea is rewriting year by year. The next time you look at a map of Britain, remember it is tilted and restless. And almost everything you assumed about where things are is wrong. If this video rearranged the map in your head, subscribe to Dust and Stories. We take the places you think you know and show you what is really there. Like the video. Drop a comment telling us which fact caught you out. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.